Awesome. I think this is episode 40 odd, 40, 41 maybe.
Coming along.
Yeah. I just wanted to
Making up the numbers.
Yeah, I just wanted to like crank another number and I get a snapshot of where you are at in life currently, because I think it's an interesting kind of turning point. And as one of the characters who will hopefully be, you know, in the pod once a year or so, there's a track record of who the hell Ted Wiedemeyer is.
Yeah, nice.
This seems like a relevant addition. So, what's happening on the horizon?
I thought as well, might preface that
I feel like we have to speak so softly because it's like a public. It's so quiet where we are. Hey?
Yeah, super nice. Yeah, Tim and I, we've been hanging out the last 2 days. And the bloody bastard, I don't think has asked me a single question about what I'm up to.
Saving it for this.
But it made me think maybe the pod is just a broader excuse to not have to ask people what they're doing until it suits you.
It's probably true.
Condense it into.
Well, I like asking people what they're up to, presuming that most people aren't on the pod. But when we have a pod coming up, in a day, it's like, if I run the normal line of questioning now, we're not going to have, because that's what I'm just going to do on the pod.
Yeah.
So we either do it normally and then don't do the pod, or do the pod. And selfishly, I want the record. And I'm sure you'll want the record in years to come.
No, I'll appreciate it.
Right.
It's funny in the moment. It definitely seems like some just very one-way conversations.
Okay. So where do you want to start? I mean, the most recent update is the Indian visa situation. So.
Oh yeah, that's a bit dumb. I stupidly didn't think to apply for an Indian visa until 2 days before going, which, normally I'd say would come off as a kind of arrogance, which it still probably is, that you just wave the Australian passport around and you can go anywhere willy-nilly.
Must be nice.
Yeah, definitely. Which is something I normally feel ashamed to even be hearing stories of, so I feel just fucking embarrassed that it's me.
But what excuse do you have? I feel like there was a but coming up in that.
Yeah, there was definitely a but. I think I got another excuse, which is not that much better. But I've just been so preoccupied with organising everything else for this trip, because it feels like a real kind of expedition which requires a lot of organising. And this has just slipped between the cracks. Doesn't make it any better, but that's just what I'm telling myself.
What actually happened? The Indian visa needs...
You need to apply at least 4 days in advance, which fuck, that's not that should be easy as. And so I've currently paid a third party a couple $100 to probably go and corrupt the process and make it happen faster.
Fuck yeah.
In a government office in India somewhere.
Nice. That's how that place works, I imagine.
That's how I imagine too.
Mad.
But I mean, they're deliberately, I think, managing my expectations by telling me there's no guarantee that it'll come on time. But this...
Do you get your money back? Or what happens?
You get a partial refund.
Okay.
So they'll keep the money for I guess the labour of
For the margin.
Yeah. But they said they'll refund you the express fee, because you'll get the visa eventually. They will get you a visa, but it might take 3 days instead of 1.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go well.
Okay.
And so
why are you going to India? What's this trip coming up and everything?
Yeah. I'm stopping over on the way to Tajikistan, where some bike packing will begin. But it's, I guess, a tailored, I don't really know the right word, deliberate stop over there to visit Sanjana, my ex-girlfriend, and hang out. She doesn't live in Delhi, but one of her friends does, and she's back in India at the moment, wanted to visit her friend anyway. So that should be, really nice. Few emotions, but
Yeah. Jeez, how does that feel? I mean, I don't know if you want to say it on the pod, but and I've already asked you a bit, but like, how is it the idea of going to an ex, but only ex because of, you know, changing life? It's not like the love's lost or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this like last weekend overseas, you know, there's
like I say, pretty emotionally charged. And like, I think it will be nice, but I think it'll be sad as well.
Cool. Okay, and then let's crack the seal. What is this trip? I mean, bikepacking to Tajikistan. There's rumors of Afghanistan thrown in the mix.
Yeah, well, it's deliberately, as I like to do, which I guess this whole stupid visa situation is a artifact of like not organised too much, which I think is net good, but then sometimes it leads to stupid like oversights, like not getting a visa. But I guess flying into Tajikistan and then don't have to be home till Christmas. I'll have my bike. So
what are we now? Mid-July? Start of July?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what, 5 months?
Start of July.
5 and a bit months.
Yeah.
Huge.
So yeah, pretty huge. Like, just endless, really different directions that could go depending on how well it goes, however you measure like success of a trip.
And what have you planned, or what visions of this trip have you got in your head currently?
I guess riding around on like really isolated mountain roads, dropping the bike at some point and doing like hikes up to snowy peaks and maybe even dabbling in some mountaineering as well.
Sick.
Hopefully meeting plenty of other like adventurous
Does it feel
souls.
does it feel like a jump off a cliff and really like, I'm really going for it? Or is it like this natural next step in that kind of travel?
It feels like a natural next step, but it feels like not a step necessarily that you can like just walk up onto, but you kind of have to like jump with your hands and pull yourself up onto that step.
Well, good imagery. I mean.
Yeah. I think the main thing that I'm nervous about in that sense is just like keeping my bike like working.
How do you mean?
Just like having a functioning bike at all times in remote areas and like running into mechanical problems. And
what's the worst thing that can happen mechanically to a push bike?
I mean, I don't know, snap off the derailleur and pop all the spokes on the tire and you just can't ride. But worst case scenario, then I guess I just hitchhike to nearest big town and either leave my bike there or get it fixed.
Yeah.
Like I could just abandon the bike side of things and journey by foot.
And can you tell me, because you've been telling me a bit, and again, as you noted, duly noted, I haven't been asking too much about it.
Yeah.
Yet you've still been saying no. What's this Afghanistan talk?
Tajikistan, which confirmed flying into and have rented a car there for 2 weeks, shares a big border with Afghanistan and
country we all know and love.
Yeah, country that only has a good reputation. But yeah, I guess I've seen a lot of social media stuff in the last like year or so, I'd say, of like adventurous backpackers heading into Afghanistan and seeing what it's like, and lots of people claiming it's a pretty misunderstood place.
Isn't the Taliban like the heads in power?
Yeah, they are. And yeah, I guess that's what makes it so interesting as well, because they have probably such a bad perception, and especially hearing people say they're not as bad as maybe they're thought out to be, but that could also be wrong too. They could still be shit.
Have you seen a female traveller, is one of those people, those exploring people on YouTube or whatnot?
Yeah, I have seen a few women who've gone in as well, which seems pretty brave.
And they were as well saying that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Bad. That's mental.
I mean, I also have heard people boycott the opportunity to travel there because of the ethical implications. So I guess in some ways it is ethically dubious because your $150 for a visa probably goes to the Taliban. And I think they're very much interested in like cleaning up their reputation a bit and attracting foreign investment. So they may well be projecting a like cheery image.
Because my like very, very surface level understanding of the Taliban is, I mean, as a subplot, they want to take over the world and maybe don't like Western stuff. But first and foremost, they want to make Afghanistan, their country, functional. And in a kind of predominantly Western capitalistic environment, probably means playing ball for at least the time being until they build up themselves to then extend that power.
Yeah.
That's the idea I have in my head. So I guess for the minute, it's like, oh yeah, be nice to people, let them in, make money, and then maybe apply.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Honestly, I don't know.
That's gonna be what is the appeal? Why go?
I guess just the unknown of it. The fact that there's not that much information out there, and the general rule that I've tended to observe that places that receive fewer tourists have like the people are super hospitable to anyone who does come and visit, and you're kind of treated like a bit of a celebrity. Get to milk the like, I guess, white backpacker privilege
alongside milking the village goats.
That too.
Jeez, that's going to be what, Venezuela and Afghanistan in the 1 year.
Yeah, I know. When you put it like that, it sounds a bit thrill-seeking, bit
nice.
Danger.
Yeah.
Addicted. Yeah, but I don't know, how did you feel
in Venezuela?
Endangered in Venezuela?
No, not at all. But I know that. I guess.
Well, I guess probably the main danger that I still need to look into a bit more before locking into going to Afghanistan is just what the implications of being so close to Iran.
Oh yeah,
at the moment.
True. In like everywhere that seems dodgy, I'm not so scared of. I don't know. I just don't want to. If I'm going to die and it's going to be dangerous and there's a risk of death, I just don't want it to be stupid. You know, like a Congolese warlord. Okay, fair enough. He wants money, and maybe we give him money, maybe we don't. Maybe I do, I don't. Right, but like I can understand it. You know, whereas like some Boko Haram dude in like the top of Nigeria, it's like, mate, what? Like why? You know, it's just stop, kind of deal. And that's. I mean, the Taliban. I feel like I know I can understand where they're coming from, and if they see fit that day a week that I'm there, or the Venezuelan government or whatever, to like get me going, okay, right, I don't agree obviously, but like I kind of somewhat know where you're coming from. Whereas I'm like, you know, ISIS, just imbecile in the hills. It's like, what are you doing? You know, if only you had had some better or different upbringings or experience as a kid or something, I don't know. Like, anyway, it's probably easy for me to say, but yeah. Then again, though, I also, again, I'm not trying to claim this, so I don't say it with strong force, but I feel like I can, on some level, empathise with just your average terrorist. Like, there's a very easy way. I don't think it's very, very hard to like get to the point where you're hating the West at all, especially if you like block out some of the good parts and have some extra propaganda in that direction. I mean, more than half the West already hates the West, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
It's one of the most self-hating cultures, and I think that's a good thing because I think that's like an ultimate evolution to be self-critical. But I mean, bloody hell, painting America as the big devil is not very hard to do. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Like, I guess just for you, and this might be too philosophical and meta to like bother with answering well, but what does this trip kind of mean to you, do you think?
Um,
Because you haven't had for 5-6 years, you haven't had a big multi-month trip.
no, that's not
Is
quite
it?
true.
Oh, the Central America one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just like kind of trying to upskill myself in the adventure game to add bike packing to the list of things I can do competently. I mean, I've done it a little bit around Victoria and Tasmania, but this feels like a bigger step up and like big rewards in terms of the scenery and people that I'll probably encounter.
And you kind of frame that as if the adventure game is something like a skill set that you want to be in your identity in somewhat. Is that like a career path for you, or what does that like? Is that some kind of I want to be seen as a adventurer? Like what's going on?
No, it's just like I enjoy getting to rogue and beautiful places, and like the sense of achievement that I get by knowing I've got there on my own steam is like even greater.
Hence the bike.
Hence the bike.
Yeah.
And I just like the pace of the bike as well. It's like you can cover so much more ground than foot, but you don't lose that intimacy that you would if you're on like a motorbike or in a car or something.
Yeah. I mean, for the first time, actually, I'm kind of like painting an image of bikepacking through some step, Tajik step or something, rocking up to some village. Like, can you maybe paint the picture of one of those images of like rocking up to some yak, or like what? Like, are there some of those images? They've got to be in your head that have been rolling around.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe like you've just gone over like a really hectic mountain pass, and you had to like push your bike for large sections of it because it's snowy or too steep or whatever, and then you descend your way down and you hit the flat, and there's like a ger or like a yurt, also known as, and you just see like smoke billowing out the chimney. You like knock on the door, and this I don't know, family like just welcomes you in with a big smile on their face, and I don't know, pay them like $20 or something, and you get to drink tea and
Fermented goat milk or something.
yak milk. And
does that exist out there? Like, that's such a, I mean, we're sitting in some beautiful nature in the outskirts of Sydney, but I mean, there's like super yachts and stuff around. Like, that nomadic lifestyle, there's still plenty of that in that part of the world?
I think like probably depends a bit where you are. I think a lot of it would be like maybe not quite that idyllic and more commercialized, but it'd still be pretty cool even if it was like, can't blame people for trying to monetize that kind of idyllic style of living, which is highly appealing to like some bloody backpacker or bikepacker like me riding past.
And do you have any inclination of like, are you wanting to almost connect with other people or foreigners that are like you, or is it more really get into some local things, or more just be transient? And it might be a mix of all of it, but
yeah, probably a bit of everything. I can see it being hard to connect with the locals like on a deep level just because of the language, which, I mean, it would be cool to know a bit more of the language, but I think I'm going to struggle to go beyond like superficial, like survival kind of communication. It'd be really cool to link up with other, especially cyclists. If I could be riding with other people for like days or weeks or whatever at a time, I think that'd be really fun. And I think it's a pretty solid filter, like anyone who's willing to go to like a pretty rugged part of the world
On a bicycle.
on their bike. Should have some interesting things about them.
Yeah.
Be worth spending a little bit of time with.
No, fair enough. Well, okay. I guess I look forward to seeing how those stories, end up when you're back. But there are a few stories that I haven't even got, and not just I have been saving them from the pod in the last day or two. Like, I feel like they just haven't come up as much. Back, 6 months ago when we were in South America and then Guatemala at the end, you went off afterwards, after our last pod would have been San Pedro volcano, and you went up to like the northern highlands and Huehuetenango and climbed to Jamaica. And I haven't heard almost anything about that. I saw one photo of you with like a clown.
Oh God, man, the clown! You might be up in arms if he heard you call him a clown.
Oh, really? He's not a clown?
No, he was just dressed in his like indigenous clothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought that was a clown. Did he not have like big feet?
No.
Oh wow. Okay. No. Yeah. What was it? Like, you had a photo with like a pink waistcoat, vest, and all sorts of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, I sought out this town, Todos Santos. It's called Todos Santos Cuchumatan, and Cuchumatan is like, there's Los Cuchumatanes, which is like a mountain range in that part of Huehuetenango. And this village is known for like, obviously, Guatemala has like, I think you were saying the other night, along with Bolivia, the like kind of biggest representation of living indigenous culture in the Americas as a country. And this town is probably the most like strongest presence of that in the whole of Guatemala.
Okay, cool.
So in other towns, like a lot of the, it's mainly just the women who wear traditional clothes, which I found out is because a lot of the blokes started facing workplace discrimination and like wouldn't be considered for jobs if they were wearing their indigenous clothes. Like, once, I guess, it started getting westernized in Guatemala, probably kind of radiating out of the capital.
So did this town avoid that by being so remote, or?
Yeah, I presume so. And maybe there are other towns in that area that are similar, but yeah, this one was just written up online.
Yeah.
And
is that why you went there?
Yeah, that's why I went there.
Yeah,
and it just seemed like a cool area because it was in the mountains as well. And so what did I do? Just hung around town, I went to a couple markets, one on the way there and one there, which were pretty cool, like selling livestock. Like, you could buy a cow or like a kitten or a pig or like any kind of animal, turkey. Like,
did you see how much things cost?
I should have asked.
Yeah.
That was probably a missed up. But
we've been joking about like, I definitely have the idea of buying a horse in where you're going, to Tajikistan, Mongolia, and cruising around. Cost about $800.
Yeah. Decent investment potentially.
Yeah. Sorry, okay, go on. Market.
And yeah, so those markets were cool. There was a really cool museum in that Todos Santos town as well, which was just like this old guy's basically garage, I guess, and he had collected all these like really old artifacts of that kind of local mine group. And him and his kids like played the marimba.
That's unreal.
Yeah. And then I gave them like a nice tip because it was like free to enter. And yeah, then he invited me to like come and dine with him and his family, and we ate like turkey stew cooked on the wood fire by his wife.
What kind of, because I've lived in Guatemala for years and never went up to this place. What kind of living conditions and what was the place like for the locals?
I'd say it was pretty similar to like a lot of other Guatemalan towns, like concrete roads and like shacky but still like reasonably structured houses. Yeah, like it was still fairly modernised and like it had power lines and
Yeah, cool.
internet and all that. And there was hotels in the town as well, but there weren't that many. I don't know, it seemed like it was set up for more tourists than were there
Okay.
for whatever reason.
Maybe once upon a time it was in the Lonely Planet or something.
Yeah. No, I think quite likely actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all just they want to go to Free Sylvester.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think I saw like something online that some like semi-famous author had went and lived in this town for like a couple of years and written a book or...
Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
There is one lady, I forget her name, Roberta, I think her name is. She won like a Nobel Prize of maybe literature or something. I think she's an author from Guatemala.
Okay.
I don't know if it would be her.
Yeah, it could be.
Anyway, yeah, cool. And yeah, what was the? Are there any more?
I went for a hike there, which was pretty cool as well. Like up into the higher part of the mountains, like which was up to like I think 3,800 meters. So it was pretty cold.
Is that Tahelmulka?
Up there? Nah. I think this was the highest non-volcanic part of Guatemala.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, beautiful. Got a little bit lost at some point. There's like a couple towns that you can link up, and I'd recommend if anyone goes to Guatemala and wants to get off the track to, I think it's Todos Santos to Nabaj.
Okay.
Is like the name of the hike. And
Yeah.
I didn't do all of it. I only did like a third of it, but passed through a bunch of kind of similar towns. And apparently this was another interesting thing. I couldn't really find much information about even when asking people. But I think a lot of the Civil War fighting happened around there.
And it was so cooked up.
And like I asked people and I couldn't tell whether they were pretending not to know about it or it had been so hushed that by now they didn't even...
How old would the people who you were asking have been, do you reckon?
I reckon they would have been old enough. Like,
yeah. Because it only ended officially in like 96, but I think a lot of the violence was in the early 80s.
Yeah, I think I asked someone in their 50s. Like,
yeah.
So you would have thought they'd have a...
Yeah, they would have been hiding under the bed as kids and shit.
Yeah.
Like I remember reading one book in particular and the line there was a whole book about it and blah, blah, but the line that really got me was when 9/11 happened in 2001 against America, immediately the day after, the line in the streets, for American culture was, we cannot let the terrorists win. We can't let them change our way of life. And of course, inevitably they did. And, government spying on its citizens, blah, blah, blah. We won't get into that. But the main thing was, we can't let the terrorists win. And I think it was just the final line of this book about the Guatemalan Civil War, because it said, in Guatemala, the army, the dictatorship, the government was basically, the terrorists for the locals, and especially the indigenous population. And in Guatemala, the terrorists did win. And it's just like this kind of emotional scar, and it can't be talked about,
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was apprehensive to ask people about it because I realised that it was a pretty fucked history from what I'd heard. But yeah, still didn't really find anything out.
Yeah.
And I sought out like museums as well. The only one I could find was in Guatemala City, and I missed the opening hours.
Okay. Because I don't think they're going to get angry at you. I just think they're going to have bottled it up to such an extent, like almost as a culture,
Yeah.
No, wild. Okay, cool. And then what was Tahelmulco this same week as well?
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to say is where the clown guy fitted in, but that was just like in the town that I finished up in. There was a llama farm.
What?
Where it definitely seemed like a bit of an animal cruelty job. Like these poor llamas like roped up, and along with a bit of a cultural appropriation job.
What do you mean?
You could dress up in like the local like full like colourful
like for
indigenous
tourists.
kit. Yeah. Um, and I don't know, I guess the guy running it, like,
I don't think it's that bad to be dressing up in mine stuff.
no, well, that's what I thought. Like,
Yeah.
if the local guy is like letting you do it, I mean, of course he's letting you do it because you're paying him.
But we find
for
girls
it,
would wear like, buy the
Yeah.
dresses and stuff. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, that was entertaining.
That's good as.
Um,
I'll try
and-
to find that photo and then put it up on the screen or something.
Please do.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I started moving towards Tahamulka, which is the highest peak and a volcano in the country and also in the continent of Central America. I think it's like 4,200 meters.
Conveniently excludes Mexico being part of North America.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the Guats will cop that.
Yeah, nice.
Um,
How was that? Wait, that's pretty high mountain. Were you on your own?
yeah, it was on my own. And yeah, probably like it should have been chill, and it would have been chill if I had have done like normal mountain safety precautions, but I didn't have a sleeping bag. And I didn't want to let that stop me. So I just got like a couple of garbage bags thinking that would...
Hey.
G'day, how you
Oh,
going?
that's sick. See that little electric motor?
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I just thought like, a couple garbage bags, that'll reflect my heat and then it'll be a night of suffering, but I'll be able to...
this. Oh, that's so dumb.
I'll be able to survive. And I had a space blanket as well.
How high up were you sleeping?
At like the summit,
At the summit?
basically.
Oh.
So
In
probably
garbage bags?
4,150.
Did you have a sleeping bag?
No. I had an air mattress.
So yeah,
Yeah.
no tent?
No tent.
So you have an air mattress and and garbage bags
Yeah.
and a space blanket.
And a space
That's
blanket.
4,200 meters on an exposed mountain.
Yeah.
Volcano even.
Seems like a recipe for success.
Okay. How did that night go? Talk me through that.
Yeah, well, pretty horrendously. And well, to be honest, I've done the same thing at that 3,800.
But there would have been trees or something, was there? Or
that was shit as well,
was that?
to be honest. But I thought I'll use 2 garbage bags instead of 1. And that will...
Is the idea there like it just keeps you sweating and stuff? Like
Exactly.
yeah. Because like fighters will use that stuff to like lose weight.
Yeah, when like a couple of years before when I was in Mexico, I'd seen like homeless guys just sleeping like with a garbage bag and cardboard as their sleeping mat. But yeah, turns out they're probably suffering. Probably suffering too. Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah. So how was the night?
Yeah, probably worst night of my life in terms of like.
Do you have any like recollection play by play like?
Oh, I just remember like trying to fall asleep and just being like too uncomfortably cold to like actually be able to drift off. And I remember having like really, really cold hands and fingers and just like shaking. And also it was like the space blanket, like I shouldn't have been surprised, but it sucked. Like it just kept on slipping out from between my body and the air mattress.
Okay. So you're supposed to put it below you?
I don't know what you meant to. I think you just meant to wrap it up, however, and it's not really designed for sleeping. It's designed for like you're wet and cold and like gonna die.
Yeah.
And this will like make you just survive.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that was dumb was like I was just putting the air mattress straight on the ground, and so it popped because it like was rubbing against like little pointy like bits of gravel.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was fucked as well.
So it's gone.
Well, I had it, but it was just like not insulating me from the coldness of the ground.
Yeah, it's just plastic.
At all. Yeah.
Fuck, that's so dumb.
Yeah. So
what happened? Did you get through the night?
Yeah, I reckon I probably got maybe like an hour of sleep.
Fetal positioning?
Yeah, just trying every position really to get comfortable.
Mental.
And then, I started feeling sick as well. Well, I guess as well, the other thing, there was definitely like altitude playing a role too. So like shortness of breath and like headachy and stuff.
No sleep and hydration.
Yeah, and I don't know whether this was just a product of all those things, or it was another factor as well. But I think I might have been experiencing like food poisoning symptoms as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was just
Absolute
upset
shit show.
stomach and just everything that could go wrong did go wrong, but I also didn't really do enough in the first place to.
How is the view at the top?
It was amazing, but I couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like get down. But yeah, when I woke up in the morning, I got up and I like immediately started to feel like I was going to faint. And I was like pretty scared.
And you're up there alone
Then
as well.
up there alone. I found like a rock wall, like I was set up behind a rock wall that someone had created.
Okay.
But I think you still really needed a tent because the wind was just whipping through the like gaps in the rocks and like still making me
Garbage
freeze
bag
and,
wasn't.
yeah, doing shit all. Yeah. But yeah, when I woke up and was like scared about passing out, pretty luckily I saw some head torches just come like beaming over the distance. And I went up to them and like said like basically just like looked like a mess and was like, oh, I need some help, like I'm feeling sick. Yeah, can I stay with you? And yeah, they were like understandably pretty shocked.
You must have
and-
looked so bad.
Yeah. And like gave me some like super sugary coffee from their thermos, which like made a huge
Oh, that would be huge. Sugar
huge
and warmth.
difference. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man.
And then about 30 other people came walking over the hill, and it was like a giant like Guatemalan like hiking group.
Did you spend the whole day with them then, like on the descent?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
became mates.
Nice. Are they all like older people or?
A bit of a mix, to be honest. Like, yeah, there was people as old as probably like 50 or 60.
Did you tell them how you'd been sleeping the night before?
Yeah, they thought I was an idiot, like justifiably, which I was. But I got the chance to redeem myself, which was pretty unexpected for me. But when we were descending, one of the older ladies like fell down and like split her head open.
Oh shit.
Like pretty bad.
Yeah.
I just remember like she was probably like 5 people in front of me. I remember just like looking up. This was a steep point where you were like looking at every step you took, and I look up or over, and she's just like face down like on this like steep section. I was Jesus, like this does not look
God
good.
damn.
And no one had a first aid kit except for me.
Out of 30 people, responsible non-garbage bag.
Yeah. So
Who the fuck goes up a 4,200 meter volcano without a tent, a working sleeping mat, a sleeping bag, but has a first aid kit?
yeah, an idiot. An idiot. Someone who was preparing to go to the jungle and not the mountains, I guess.
Yeah, fair.
Because I did go into it being like, this is a terrible idea, but I don't want to let this lack of gear stop me from getting up there.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then you patched her up, or what did you do?
Yeah, I just handed over the compression bandage and someone patched her up.
Yeah.
And yeah, then all of a sudden everyone was
Hero.
treating me like a hero.
More coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it's
I've
good.
got some more requests for stories, for TED stories. And I actually don't know what this is, but it was in my phone notes from maybe last time and we didn't get there, or maybe we did. But it just says local stories, homeless weed Tassie.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what that's referring to?
Yeah.
Okay, please.
That's funny as well.
I actually don't know what that is.
Okay, yeah, nice. You're in for a...
Because I feel like you must have mentioned something and I was like, stop that. I want this for the pod, and then we never got it.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad you took note of it. That was on the, like, well, I guess the longest bikepacking trip I've done, which probably made me fall in love with traveling by bike, which was through Tassie. And I think that was at the start of 2024. So like a year and a half ago now. And anyway, I was riding through Tassie, and on the second day, I snapped my derailleur off. So pretty terminal issue for the bike. And I realized that I was going to have to get to a bike shop and get it fixed there because I had no idea what to do myself. And so I walked back, I think it was about 5 Ks, I walked back to...
With the bike?
With the bike to the main road. And yeah, I didn't even have to like stick my thumb out. There was already just a guy stopped on the side of the road.
What?
Like having like a smoke break or something like that.
Brilliant.
And I went up to him and he was more than happy to give me a ride. But, well, I say but, like it's more like an and because it added to things rather than detracted. But he was like, looked like straight out of Wolf Creek. And he had like 2 dogs like in the tray of his ute that were going absolutely like psycho off their head. And it was like kind of scary putting the bike in the tray because of being like close to these 2 dogs. And
that's
like,
one thing I haven't actually considered about hitching in Australia. Like, I'm not scared about people because, but the dogs thing.
Yeah. Honestly, this guy was like on paper at least, to the more fear sensing or like guard up person.
Yeah.
Like quite scary.
Yeah.
And like got in the car and he had like an open beer in like the cup holder.
Which is kind of brave in Australia, I feel.
Oh, for sure. Like,
Australia's so bloody Nazi about stuff like that.
Yeah. And yeah, he started telling me about how he, I think he used to be a salmon net maker, but he'd been on like the
Niche
drug and alcohol pension from the government for like the last 10 years.
What's that?
I don't even know.
What does that even...
Yeah, maybe he was addicted to, but...
Oh. Is that like is that an actual term from the government, or is that like what he calls...
That's just what he said. I haven't...
Drug and alcohol pension or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That might just be code for Centrelink and I'm spending it on drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, true. But he said he lived off grid, okay. I think on his like brother's property or something, and he would shoot wallabies to feed his dogs and just like terrifying stuff, but also very cool. And he was telling me that like, I can't remember how soon before it had been, but there'd been some Belgian chick hitchhiking, and he stopped for her and she refused to get in the car.
Fair play.
Which like, yeah, like correct decision.
Was he a bit like, was he saying that quite resentful or like?
No, he just sounded a bit like confused, I think.
Oh, okay. How can you be confused, brother?
Yeah. And I don't know, he's just like spouting like Islamophobia and stuff like, saying like, oh, you're the most Aussie bloke I've ever met, like getting around on your push bike, that's bloody awesome. Like, but anyway, he dropped me at like the crossroads to head to Launceston, which is where I wanted to get the bike fixed. And he gave me a like fat nugget of weed from like this giant stash he had in the car.
Geez, weed and open can.
Yeah. So yeah, riding dirty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty stoked.
Wow. Okay. There you go.
And yeah, then got another ride to Launceston, which was less wow factor equally as like nice. Enjoyable.
Yeah.
But yeah, went and like got my bike sorted and had to stay in Launceston for the night while it got fixed. And I just went to the park and I had all my food for camping. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to cook like a camp meal in the park. And in the process of that, some like homeless people who were hanging out in the park like signaled me to come over.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll come over in a bit. Like, I was kind of like giving myself some time to make a decision about whether I wanted to hang out with them or not. But I also still had to finish my meal.
Why were they
like,
signaling to you? Because you looked scruffy, and did you have a bike still?
Yeah, I guess I just like I'd been sitting in the park for a while, and they could see that I was like cooking my dinner and being a bit of a gremlin. Yeah. And so yeah, eventually I went over to them and like just had a great evening yapping away and hearing their stories. And
What was some of this, like just kind of normal stuff, or was there some crazy?
I remember one guy, like, I mean, it was very much just like one side of the story, but it sounded like he was still being shafted, but his stepfather had kicked him out of the house because he wasn't like pulling his own weight.
So was he young?
Yeah, he was like 19, this guy.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said like he was kind of like somewhere in between being homeless and not, because sometimes he'd be allowed to go back home, and then when his stepfather would crack it again, then he'd be kicked out again. And yeah.
Tough word out there. And then you got to share the weed with them, did you?
Yeah, I just shared the weed with everyone, and they
loved it.
Yeah, loved it, and
nice.
Felt like a very full circle moment. Got given the weed and got to share it.
That brings me, I'm glad, because that was also in my notes, and I don't think we've said this story on the pod, of another time you got free weed.
Oh, I'm trying to think now.
You and Zav.
Oh, true. That was hilarious as well.
Yeah, we definitely haven't recorded that story.
All right. Well, yeah. I think we were just having a day of
dumpster diving day.
Dumpster diving and mucking around in Brunswick, because Lily, our good mate,
get her on the pod,
was house sitting there.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, get her on the pod. She definitely doesn't want to be on the pod.
She's reticent, but we'll get her. We'll get her.
And I don't know, we just like, after a full day of dumpster diving, the kind of like, I can do anything muscle was like fully pumped, full of blood, I reckon. And then I think we knocked on someone's door and asked if we could have some lemons, which like no big deal, but like just seemed like
they had a lemon tree.
Yeah, they had a lemon tree. We asked if we could pick some lemons, and then like 2 minutes later, we were like walking through this car park, and we see like, I can't remember what kind of, I think it was like a really nice, like souped up, or nice is a subjective term, but really souped up Raptor. So like expensive ute.
Yeah.
And maybe like black rims and stuff like that. And you can just see this guy holding like a fat joint, like absolutely like smoking like a chimney. Like not a care in the world either, like not trying to hide it at all. And we were like, oh, should we apply the same principle as the lemons?
Because you got lemons, presumably.
Yeah, we got them. And yeah, I think Sav went over, and the guy was on the phone, so it was a little bit awkward to start with. But then he was like, oh yeah, can we have some weed? And the guy was like, oh yeah, sure. Just like opened up the tray. Like I don't think he even said anything else after that. Like didn't ask any questions, didn't make any conversation, just grabbed out like probably like 100 Aussie dollars worth of weed and handed it over, and we just walked off like gobsmacked.
Do you reckon he expected you to pay for it?
No, he said like, I think Zav offered him money as well, and he just said, no, it's all yours. So our theory was just that he was like balling as a drug dealer, and that like it was no sweat to him.
Mad. And I imagine like the kind of story arc that leads you down that road of obviously valuing, no judgment here, like valuing, material stuff. And there's a big like, I want to be that guy who does have money, does have the fancy car, and does have the ability to like give and offer, presumably because he probably didn't receive that I'm just completely,
reading into,
but you've seen that story a million times, right? So given that opportunity to give.
Yeah, exactly. Really, we were doing him a favour.
Well, that's a beautiful...
Giving him the opportunity to give.
I've said this off the pod, but I probably haven't said it on. But I read something about the Buddhist monks in like Thailand and stuff specifically, and how they go around, you know, in their orange robes, and they don't. I think their only possession is a bowl. They go around knocking on doors, begging, like just hand the bowl, and people put money and food.
Surely they could stinge a bowl as well. Why do they bother even carrying a bowl? That's kind of dumb.
Yeah, but they never say thank you, and all the moons just come over the hill. That's so
nice. And feel the temperature dipping.
Yeah. So they never say thank you because they're in their philosophy, people aren't ever going to give you something more than what the feeling is worth of giving it.
Yeah.
So like a stranger who comes to my door, I might give them a lemon because it costs nothing to me and I get a good feeling.
Yeah.
If a friend or family comes to my door, I'll give them more than a lemon. I'll give them, you know, the whole bloody tree. I'll give them a room in the house, right? So you're never going to like give away more than you're going to get in return of like the good feeling and the sentiment.
There's got to be a point though where that crosses over. Like if you're asking for like a leg of lamb or something that the person hasn't cooked.
I think the point is,
they haven't cooked yet.
The point is the person will either say no.
Yeah.
Or they'll say yes because I'm going to get subconsciously or consciously so much benefit from the feeling of how good of a person am I to have gone out of my way to cook this person a leg of lamb.
Yeah.
Like that sentiment of like feeling like a good person is worth, at least by definition, the value of the product.
Yeah, I think that's why as well so often it is worth asking people for things because often that feeling does outweigh the kind of cost to them.
Well, it has to. Otherwise,
parting way. Yeah. Otherwise, it won't do it.
The only time this doesn't work is if you kind of try to trap them into a yes,
or you ask like unreasonable.
But if you ask unreasonable things, they just say no.
Yeah.
But when you like yes roll them, which is a sales technique, which is like you might ask them for a lemon and they say yeah, and they give you a lemon. It's like, oh, actually, can I also have a knife to cut this lemon? And then can we come inside and use your toilet while we're here? And then you keep on rolling it and like
yeah.
And then you get to a point.
Yeah.
But as long as you don't trap people into it, I think you're okay. Yeah, there's also the Ben Franklin effect. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's like the quickest way to, it's a networking tool, but the quickest way to get someone to like you is to get them to do you a favor. Because it basically, so I think it came from this guy who, was it Ben Franklin or Tom Franklin? I don't know, one of the founding fathers or back in the States in those days. He had, back in the day where like libraries and books were actually like a really valued and rare commodity. He needed a book of some kind and it was in the library, the personal library of, I think it's Ben Franklin. And I think he's on the $100 note. I'm probably completely wrong, but almost certainly. But anyway, this guy wrote him a letter, like with a small ask, like, oh, can I borrow this book? I've heard it's in your library. So it's so small that like, it's like the lemon. No one's going to say no to it because there's no skin off their back.
Well, it's kind of a compliment in the way like, oh, you've got a cool book in your library.
Exactly.
Oh, you've got a nice lemon tree in your...
Yeah, exactly. So it allows a lot of room for like subtle, not like in your face disgusting, like, but as you say, compliments and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then there's a biological kind of, it hacks the biology of the person that you're asking because in our minds, we're not going to do a favor to someone we don't like. Now, if you're a stranger, I don't know if I like you or not, but if I've done you a favor, I must therefore reason that I like you. Because why would I be doing favors for people I don't like?
Yeah.
So it like puts you in good graces in the opposite weird way.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, anyway. All right. Back from a jumper break. By the way, PSA, public service announcement. Cocobella, the ultimate smoothie starter. This is half coconut milk, half coconut water. Strongly recommend. It's just, I mean, you're just drinking. I was going to say you're drinking because it looks like jizz, but I imagine that's actually not a good thing to drink. Yeah, anyway, you get what I'm trying to say.
Cocobella, don't get this guy's sponsor.
You get what I'm trying to say.
Doing disfavors.
It's orgasmic, but people should buy it and try it, and then it might stand a better chance at staying on the shelves. Because I'm always worried when a new product comes out, it's a bit niche. Like if it's not doing well, because it's not in all the supermarkets, it's only in Coles, and it's not even in all the Coleses. It's like, I want to keep it around.
Do your very best.
Oh my goodness, so good. Anyway, I wanted to ask you about, because I've only ever asked you once, and I remember you saying it very well, but I've kind of forgotten it, and I'd love to have it recorded as well, because you might even forget, I don't know, about what, especially since you're like done with uni now, and you go into this next chapter, and like figuring out what that next chapter is. What were you doing in uni? Like, what has been that journey of yours? I remember you speaking about that particular computer program and stuff like that. And could you just like say what you've been doing in the last, 4 or 5 years that's kind of kept you in one place?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there was, to start with, a Bachelor of Science, which is, at least to start with, pretty broad. And after like doing that for 2 years, I'd kind of found that I liked geography the most out of any of the subjects that I'd done, which led me to do a master's in it. And yeah, probably most of my time and energy throughout the master's was spent on this research project, even though it was only worth half my marks, which was quite niche, but in an area like you're kind of saying, which is like the tech side of conservation and using spatial analysis software to tackle this problem, which was mapping the seed production of alpine ash eucalyptus trees.
So you're using a particular computer program to...
Using a few
Okay.
like different
So
programs.
you quite good at those programs now? Like, I imagine if I try to log on, it's not very user friendly. Like,
No, they're pretty hard.
yeah.
And yeah, to be honest, like maybe not the best thing to have on the record, but yeah, I was using a lot of like AI to help with mainly the coding.
Yeah, sure. Is it like R? I remember I was using R.
Yeah, that's
commerce.
one of them, which I was using a lot. Probably the most.
When my first degree, started getting involved in that stuff, I was checking out. Like,
yeah. No, fair enough as well.
I was like,
fair enough.
I am not signing up for getting involved in this. I'd much rather.
No, to be honest, like in what I'm seeking for next after uni, which is like part of the reason why I haven't chosen to keep like doing like a PhD or something like that, is just because too much of the time was spent like doing like data crunching on a computer. And I'm looking, like there was still some, like I had some cool field work, but I'm looking for something that strikes the balance a bit better between like time on the laptop and time like outside in cool places.
Yeah. So as a uni dropout myself, I knew I didn't want to be in that bachelor's, but didn't have a realistic, better alternative. And as soon as I found one, I quit, right? How was your journey, especially in the early days? Like, because you haven't had necessarily certainty about where you're going or what you're doing. So the motivation and like willingness to stick around and stick through it, where did that come from? What was that? What was fueling that? What was the vision in your mind that you were staying in uni and staying in Melbourne and not bikepacking in Tajikistan 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, I guess just the idea of like setting myself up and like knowing that I can still do those things in my spare time, which you have plenty of as a uni student. And yeah, knowing that knowing that the degree that I was doing, even though like it might have some shit moments, like especially in uni, it was kind of going to set me up for a life where I get to be doing like adventurous stuff and being outdoors and doing what I love.
Cool. So what is that vision now? Is it getting clearer and clearer?
Yeah, well now it's clear in the sense of like there's like jobs that I have applied for and like so far not gotten rejected, or sorry, gotten rejected, not gotten rejected.
What do you
Jobs that I
mean?
haven't got, like jobs that I applied for and got turned back
Okay, yeah.
from. So like, I mean, I guess you never know what a job's going to be like exactly until you're doing it. But
So what kind of jobs are we talking?
like government grad programs, which to be honest, I'm not too bummed about missing out, because I think on that kind of spectrum between like inside on a laptop and outside, like you're probably going to be more inside for that.
It feels like a hard one, a hard life to try to build for oneself, especially in the normal sense of like balancing. Yes, I care about the environment. I want to have it better. I want to be in the environment, but who's like, what jobs are there? Like government, and then that's a lot of computer and kind of boring. In my head, it's like, even if it's not boring, it's slow, and like.
Well, the other stuff, which is kind of more on the other side of the spectrum, which I think there's some other sacrifices that you have to make for those jobs.
What, like chasing the money and then just doing a lot of environmental
No,
stuff?
probably the opposite. It's like field ecology stuff, and that might be like getting posted for like 3 or 4 months, like in the outback,
Right.
in
Okay.
like a tent and like makeshift. Like,
Did any part of you at any stage, or maybe now, if you could turn it back, be like, let's just chase the money, let's become an accountant, and then for 4 months a year, I can be in a tent or track seeds or just enjoy nature whatever way I bloody well please, wherever I well please. I'm just not dependent on where the jobs are at and stuff like that?
no, not really, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can earn like enough money at least from doing what I'm actually interested in to still do.
To be able to do it full time. Oh, and still have that.
Well, maybe not for 3 or 4 months, but like, yeah.
So most of your year is doing something that's far more aligned.
Yeah.
Not quite there maybe, but like pretty bloody close. And then whatever holidays come from that, you'll be set up enough to be able to do it.
And like, I don't know, maybe as I gain experience and learn about that industry, like I'll be able to sense opportunities to like somehow have more time off by, I don't know, whether it's just finding good job opportunities within it or starting your own business or whatever it is. Like,
So
I see that like having that more freedom might come a bit more with time, but
yeah, okay.
it's not the end of the world that I have to put in a lot of effort. Probably have to put in a lot of effort to start with, because like you say, it's pretty aligned anyway.
Yeah. Now, Ted, you're notoriously a not like ego-filled person. And, you know, that's why we need to string these stories out of you on the pod, because otherwise they don't get out. Where if I were living them, probably half of Sydney would know already or something. But in that career path, whatever ego is within you, what is it like pedestal? Like, is it finding some new species and getting it named after you, or is it like, you know, some Nobel Prize? Like, do you have any image or sense of image that, or other people have it, that you subscribe to somewhat? And you don't need to pin yourself to this. It's not like this is my dream, but do you get what I'm trying to
Yeah, I think so.
steer towards?
Well, like for example, with my masters, there's like good momentum between like me and my supervisors to try and get it published.
Yeah, okay.
And that can't help but like stoke up your ego and feel good about that.
So your thesis?
Yeah. So hopefully like once I get my corrections back, because I only submitted it like a few weeks ago, I'll then like refine it and put it into a short format that would be published by an academic journal, like a name of one, for example. I can't remember if this is exactly the name of it, but like Australian Forestry or the Journal of Biogeography.
Okay, cool.
And
it'd
then
be like Ted Wiedemeyer et al. Or whatever.
2025 on Google Scholar. Yeah.
And this is alpine ash distribution in the alpine regions or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sick.
Um,
Would part of you want to be like, I wonder how many like uni students are referencing my report and stuff like that?
yeah, I mean, probably not many. But even the fact that you're like
Searchable.
contributing to the knowledge bank
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah, very cool. Nice.
So yeah, like I'm sure there's other stuff like that as well. And I don't know, I guess like in a workplace, like gaining seniority and being rewarded in your pay or whatever, like some kind of gratification that you're valuable and doing good.
Yeah, nice. Okay. And is there, maybe more the question I was trying to ask before, is there any particular, in your head, you said like, I want to be adventurous about like this bikepacking to Tajikistan and stuff. I want to like almost upskill my ability to adventure. That's really a personal journey. That's not like this second career of, I would love to just be paid to adventure and talk about it, but I kind of have to do this somewhat aligned environmental stuff. It's like, no, I want to do this, and this is just like, I want to also just send it like that just for my own intrinsic.
Yeah, well, I feel like they're complementary to each other anyway.
Yeah. Are there specific figures that you really look towards and be like, I mean, I might not want to swap their lives, like push of a button, but geez, they're really on it? Striking the balance that you kind of look for?
I don't know if I've seen someone exactly like that, but that's also because I haven't like really been, like I'm sure within the industry of like environmental jobs, there's plenty of cool people who are living like lives aligned away that I'd like, but I've never seen someone that like really stuck out to me as striking that balance between like working in the environmental sphere and then doing like really cool adventuring. But
where do you reckon they go wrong? Do you think they just don't exist, or do you think somehow...
No, they're probably just like not that, like not broadcasting it to
Right, okay.
the world, in my opinion. But
It
I think I've seen, very cool people in the adventure sphere, but they normally seem to try and make that their whole life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any... I was just kind of trying to build a picture. Do you have any like parts of the normal trajectory of that kind of environmental career that worry you in the sense of, oh, how is that going to get in the way of the other parts of me? Like, are you worried about who you will become in any of these paths that you're approaching and looking at and potentially joining?
Yeah, I'm a bit scared of like, in my desire to leave Melbourne, like pushing away a lot of like good friendships and relationships that I've built, and that they'll be hard to replicate like if I'm moving around a lot. And part of me for that reason like questions the need to like change your place to like achieve that life. But I think I've said this before, but I see the next couple of years as like a bit of an exploration, and it's probably not long enough to lose relationships over.
What is that desire to leave Melbourne? How does that feel, and what's causing that?
I think for one, it's like being in the same place like all your life, and there's like a bit of a lack of intentionality that creeps in by being in that same place for like 25 years.
How much of this is what I really want? How much of this is just what I've always
inherited
known?
From everything that's happened in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, as you say, like there's going to be so much benefit going away for however long, even if it was 6 bloody months, like quite a short time. Just having the opportunity to go. It's like if you speak English and then you learn a new language, and even if you shit at it and you just learn it a bit, but the fact that you had to like learn what grammar is and how the languages work and structure, you'll then understand English so much better. You might not be able to speak it any better, but you like understand what's happening in the language, which I imagine you might have experienced through language learning. And I guess it's similar, like going away, traveling is one thing and you understand Australian culture to a certain degree, but living in a new place, you probably understand you and how you operate in certain spaces and environments.
Yeah, and I've always found it interesting as well how you feel like a different person often when you go away for a while and then you come back and you realise that like being in the same environment brings out the same kind of patterns of behaviours in you.
That's true. What kind of patterns have you noticed that you had while you were away and you liked and then were disappointed that they didn't stick around in Melbourne?
Well, maybe just spending like heaps of time like outside, and like maybe as a product of wanting to do that, like always getting up super early. And then when I was back in Melbourne, I was like disconnected from those places that I was excited to get up early and go to, and like just bit flatter.
True.
In that sense.
Yeah. I definitely like noticed, because I've obviously moved here to Sydney and trying that out. Thank God, like it's really good for me to be locked in for 3 years by a degree, but to give it its like due course and due time. But yeah, I mean the first few weeks and month or two you're buzzing, you know? And then now it's like, oh no, this is normal, and I do okay, like, you know, I will be less buzzed sometimes. In my own case, like I guess it's still such a drastic change of not just place, but like way of life and living on a boat and all that stuff, that it's very easy to tap into it all still. But so I think it's like I'm finding a decent balance for me at least. But I do also wonder if that would be possible in Melbourne, like if I were living in a van in Melbourne or something. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I've played around with the idea. For some reason, it's come up in the last few weeks, but who knows how it'll be acted out. But the idea of, if and when there's a time where, you know, you want houses and just normal, kind of quote unquote normal life, whether then might be the time where Melbourne is possible and on the cards, and actually quite nice, because having, like, you know, living in a house is going to be a very similar experience in Melbourne versus Sydney, for example. But then in Melbourne, you have all these people and family which don't exist in Sydney. So then might tip the scales. Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, I guess there's always some compromises as well, like living closer to family, but you don't have to live like on the doorstep.
No.
Live like an hour out of Sydney.
That's true. That's very true.
Sydney.
Yeah. Being here even is nice, because I know I can just drive there and be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's huge from Guatemala.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm kind of all out of specific questions. But do you have other things and thoughts that have been running through your mind, ideas, images, which probably won't be there or will have significantly evolved in 6 months' time when we probably do this again when you're back?
Or maybe one, like just kind of continuing what we were just saying there, is like, even though I do want to like move around a bit, like in the next couple of years, I think I see that only as a way to like find a place worth like eventually like settling into, whether it be for like maybe only a few years or something. But yeah, there's like a desire to like eventually have like a really strong like home base.
Is the desire to ideally go away to develop the point where that can be in Melbourne or close to it? Or is it like, no, it could be bloody Broome or Timor or wherever? It's like, I'm looking for a place that I can start to commit to for at least a while. Is that?
Yeah, I think it like probably within Australia, but like could be anywhere.
Yeah. So you're in a sense, the next few years are not just finding a career path, so to speak.
Kind of using that career as like a way to try out a few places and see like what kind of places are
Cool.
worth committing to.
Now, I hate the idea of like setting expectations and maybe holding an image of ourselves, our future selves, and then feeling like we have to live up to it. So instead, I like to frame it. You've probably heard me say this. Like, if you're a betting man, how much? Yeah, and you have $100. What are the odds? Like you know, there's $30 on he ends up in Melbourne in 5 years, or $20 that he ends up in Perth. Or like, you know, how? So it's detached, and you don't have to live up to this. But what do you get the sense of? Like, where you kind of?
Yeah, well, I couldn't tell you specific places. I don't care about. I probably care more about like the function of the place, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way I conceptualize it is like where on the spectrum between a tent in the outback and like an apartment in like a big city would I be likely to fall? And I'd say it's probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And that, like, I still don't exactly know where in that middle and which side it's going to sway towards, whether it's more likely to be like, I don't know, like a Geelong or like a...
or like a little hut on some acreage.
Yeah.
How relevant do you think the kind of community and people around wherever that might be is?
Yeah, I think hugely.
Because there's a big difference of being in a hut around Geelong versus a hut in Byron Bay. You know, it might look the exact same, but
yeah.
Fascinating. What kind of places are you, if you could choose, what kind of places are you really keen to explore within that?
Yeah, Broome does sound pretty interesting. Seems to strike a balance between like pretty like remote and rugged, but also like having a community there.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if it's the right word, but kind of like an outpost. Like it's like a hub, and then you could go and explore some really rogue places using that as like a base.
Get your troopy and...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or get your boat or whatever. Yeah, interesting trend. Probably another place in WA, like the southwest part down there.
Like Margaret River?
Margaret River, I don't know too much about Margaret River, but I've heard the name enough that I think it's probably like quite built up and like...
I think it's like a region, like the Yarra Valley. I think it's bigger than that.
Okay. But like even more kind of further away from Perth, I've heard like that region is super beautiful, and like there's a few like interesting sounding towns, but it's also
Bustleton, is that one of them?
Or like Albany and Esperance and
those really far, like
Denmark and places like that.
Yeah, I think they are properly more remote.
Yeah. They seem intriguing as well.
Cool.
Yeah, FNQ from your tales. Probably Tassie as well. Tassie seems like pretty good, like bang for like you can feel really remote without actually being that far away from things.
Because the townships are big enough to have everything, but like they're still quite small. It's really on that in that edge, isn't it?
More like as in it's not that big a place, but once you get out of the capital, like the Hobarts or the Launcestons or whatever, like you don't need to go that far before it's pretty...
Which is not the case in WA, I imagine.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
So basically anywhere away
and then you're still kind of connected with Victoria and like family and friends.
That's a good show.
In Tassie.
Yeah. Yeah, that like kind of
It's probably equivalent to like Sydney, but like in terms of distance and stuff.
It's just water.
But it's just water. And also like around Sydney. Oh, I guess like here we are now. I was going to say it's not as rugged and rogue around Sydney, but that's probably not true because look where we are.
Yeah, but there are fucking $1 million yachts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't go up the waterfalls and stuff because
exactly.
They're all old rich bastards.
Exactly.
Oh, not bastards, sorry. Probably.
Yeah.
Oh dear. All right, shall we call it up?
Yeah, sounds good.
Probably pitch black on the camera. It is just gorgeous though. Shout out to this place. I mean...
Shout out to the moon tonight.
Oh, sexy beast. Luna. Full moon. To the clouds. This is like that picture. It's like an
I'll show you a full moon.
You did this morning, I'm pretty sure. It's like an amphitheatre of unreal national park, hey? We climbed up this waterfall and
Yeah, there's so much. There's like endless stuff to explore here.
yeah, having a boat.
It does all look the same, but it's all beautiful. So
But it's just all like off chops beautiful.
yeah.
Alrighty. Thanks for that.
No, that was good. Sets up well for another one in a year or so, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh god. Maybe I'll go. What's up?
You don't want to turn the camera off for this next bit.
Oh, aquaturd. It's bloody clear. You can't tell, hey? I'll turn it off. Some candid shots. Oh, wow. Now I don't have cords, but maybe it's time to let your ways die. Takes a lot to change a man, hell, it takes a lot to try. Maybe it's time to let your ways die. What a cool time. No one knows what waits for the dead. Oh, dear. No one knows what waits for the dead. Some folks just believe in the things they've heard and the things that they've read. No one knows what waits for the dead.
Back to pen mermaids.
One of my favorite things to hold a video going for like 3 times on.
Yeah.
Hashtag candid shots.